Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For fast and cheap coins, check out instantmudcoins.com and use code ZERK for 20% off. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over the best players to use the 91 to 92 overall power pass on. We already do know that tomorrow, Series 3, we do get a new MUT level, 61 through 70. My guess is that at 65, we're going to get another 89 to 90, and then at 70, we're probably going to go ahead and get that 91 to 92. I know there's been a lot of speculation people have been saying about, like, we're going to get a 93 to 94. I don't believe that's going to be the case. We're probably going to get a 91 to 92 at level 70, and then we'll see about another 89 to 90 at 65, I guess. We'll see what EA does. But I do want to give a shout out to Von Barba for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. And I want to say a couple things before we actually get into my list. As you guys know, I tend to do 10 players on my list, right? For when it comes to like the best players use power passes on. There's actually, it's going to be a little bit interesting, okay? There are 10 slots necessarily I'm going to be doing for you guys today. There's a bunch of different players, and of course, you know, you guys could easily just go to your team. If you have a team, you have some very expensive 91 to 92 overall players. Maybe you have some LTD players, whatever, that you have on your team. You could easily just go through your team, whoever is the most expensive 91 to 92 overall, sell them off, and use your power pass on them. It's not a bad idea at all, or you can just use a power pass on a new player and get someone better for your team. So you could easily just choose the most expensive player that you want or the most expensive player that you have or whatever, but I'm going to give you guys, in my opinion, the 10 best options to go ahead and use the power pass on if you don't happen to have any 91 to 92s or any expensive 91 to 92. So with that being said, let's get my list. Comment down below who you guys are going to use your power pass on. So starting off the list, I did want to include Derrick Thomas here. Now, Derrick Thomas is someone that is not really one of the most expensive cards in the game, but if you need necessarily a right outside linebacker, I think Derrick Thomas is pretty much the perfect pick. I actually rock him in left outside linebacker. He is a beast, 91 power move, 90 finesse move, 87 block shed, 88 speed, 92 excel. He's not really that high on my list of who you should use it on because he is one of the cheaper options in comparison to some of the other cards that can be available to use it on, but he's still pretty good. Now, if you're looking for a long-term investment here with this 91 to 92 overall power pass, by the way, please make sure you guys keep a notepad of where you put your power passes at, because I promise you, you are probably going to want to go back at some point in time and take your power pass off of the player, unless you use it on someone like Aaron Donald. You might want to go take it off that player and use it on someone else, like, you know, if you use your 89 to 90 on Brandon Cooks. Well, right now, do you still want that Cooks on your team? Probably not. So you need to know where that power pass is at. Make sure you guys write that down. But Donald, I honestly feel like, is a super good long-term investment. I always tell you guys this when it comes to right ends and in general Aaron Donald. Donald is one of those players, he always is going to be a top defensive end in the game. Always going to be a top right end in the game. He has 79 speed, 86 excel, 93 strength, 92 block shade, 92 power move, and he always gets like a top tier card, whether it be like a 96, 97 overall, whatever, towards the end of the year. You pick that card up, you don't really need to upgrade at all. So if you want to use your 91 to 92 overall power pass on Donald now, you can hold on to him, get his next card, and you're basically set it right in for the entire year. But again, he's not a super expensive card. He's 275K, which is, you know, decently expensive for a card, but in comparison to some of the other guys on this list, he's not the most expensive option. And you can really say the exact same thing that I just said, but for Khalil Mack. I do want to mention, though, that Mack is a little bit different when it comes to his upgrades. There's been years where Mack gets like a top tier high-end card similar to Donald. There's other years where he might not get an upgrade for quite a while, and then you're just waiting around with the max in it backup or whatever because he doesn't have a top tier card. But Khalil Mack, 84 speed, 86 excel, 86 strength, 90 block shed, 92 power move. He's not as high for me when it comes to like Donald, all those guys. And you could also just get Derrick Thomas and flip him over to left side linebacker, but I know there's a lot of people that really enjoy Mack cards. Now, when I said 10 slots and not necessarily 10 players total, that's because there's different slots here. So I want to go over wide receivers with you guys. And this is really important because the 3 wide receivers that I have on here are really 3 different wide receivers in terms of their play style. So starting off, Stefon Diggs is a player that I think you guys could potentially use a power pass on. But in my personal opinion, I think Diggs, for me, is probably my number 3 receiver on this list, okay? I think he's number 3 because we don't really know with Diggs how many upgrades he's going to get. Right now, this Diggs card is really good because he's a route runner archetype, and you guys can see he has 90 for all of his routes. So he already has the threshold for all of his routes, but he only has 91 speed, 92 excel, which is still pretty fast, but there's a lot of other faster wide receivers currently in the game. And also with Stefon Diggs, he's not always this dominant of a card. Like, this is a super, super good card, Stefon Diggs, for this current state in the game. But later on in the year, are you still going to be using Stefon Diggs cards? Probably not, because the only reason why right now he's really on this list is because he hits all 3 route running thresholds. Later on in the year, everyone's going to, and then in there, he's not going to be, you know, one of the best catching guys. He's not going to be one of the fastest guys, but he's a good archetype with route runner, great routes right now. Kind of similar to Brandon Cooks, the 89 to 90, right? Great card then, won't be in the future. Same with Diggs. My number 2 receiver on my list, and currently, I think he's the best receiver in the game right now, but again, you kind of have to think about the long term here when it comes to these players. How many more upgrades is Terry McLaurin going to get? He's probably going to get another upgrade down the road. We don't know when, and again, we don't know how good it's going to be at that point in the game, but Terry McLaurin right now is such a monster. I mean, this card is ridiculous. He's a deep threat archetype, 93 speed, 91 excel, and again, similar to Diggs, he has all the route running thresholds, but he has 93 speed. So for me personally, I really like Terry McLaurin, but also remember the archetype. Archetype is big this year when it comes to abilities. I really like the slot apprentice archetype, or slot apprentice ability anyways, because that's pretty big. It gives you a lot of routes out of the slot. Diggs is perfect for that. Terry McLaurin doesn't get it. I don't like the abilities that Terry McLaurin has available. That's why for me, he's my wide receiver too. Also, we don't know how many more upgrades he's going to get, how good those upgrades can be at that point in time, because he's not a Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, or Julio Jones type name player yet. And that's exactly why I have Julio Jones at my number 1. Also, you notice the price difference between Julio and Terry, about 230K, 240K for Terry. Julio's 440,000 coins, and he's a route runner archetype, and he's gonna get some big upgrades down the road. Now, right now, it really comes down to, like, between Terry and Julio for myself. I know a lot of people like Diggs, though, too. The thing is, though, between Julio and Terry, they're 2 different wide receivers, right? Because Terry's a deep threat. Julio is a route runner who also gets that slot apprentice archetype. Now, you are going to have to go deep to get Julio over 90 deep route running, but it really comes down to what does your team need? Do you already have Terry McLaurin? Do you already have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, those deep threat guys that you're going to get down the field with? And do you need someone to be your slot guy, your slot apprentice wide receiver? Julio is perfect for you. In my opinion, I think Julio is probably the option that I would go with because of the price, because of longevity of the card. He's going to get upgrades. We already have a ton of super, super good deep threat wide receivers in the game. I think Julio's my number 1 receiver. Or at least the number 1 receiver that I would go with the power of pass, but also Darren Waller. If you guys need a tight end, he is getting a Series Redux card, so he may be a little bit cheaper. We're going to see about his price when that Series Redux comes out, but right now his LTD is about 500K. The Series Redux card, though, he's going to go down in price, so maybe he won't be one of the most expensive options, but he does have 87 speed. He will get powered up, of course, because using Power Pass, he will be over 90 medium route running, so it's perfect for tight end apprentice. He also have 93 short route running, great speed, great catching, great route running. He'll be 70 run block powered up as well. Really love Darren Waller. Now, if you need a cornerback and you need a cornerback badly, I would recommend using on Dion Sanders. We're talking about longevity of cards when it comes to using power passes. Obviously, Dion is always going to have one of the best cards in the game. You guys can see 92 speed, 92 excel, 90 zone, 91 man. Pick up Dion if you need a corner. And you guys know I'm not a big fan of using power passes or getting NAT quarterbacks necessarily, but right now, Culpepper is really good. He does get Gunslinger because he is a strong arm quarterback, which is only 1 AP. In my opinion, the best quarterback ability in the game when it comes to like how much it actually costs, because it's only 1 AP, and it really helps you make a lot of throws, although Hot Rod Master is super, super good as well. Really, really like Gunslinger. Dante Culpepper also has 85 speed, great throwing stats, and powered up, even not powered up, he's already over all the thresholds. 80 short, 85 medium, 90 deep. He's over all those, has 93 throw power. Card's amazing right now, and he's going to be a really, really good quarterback for a long time. If you want to go long-term, though, you could just pick up Vic for later down the road. He's obviously going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He always is down the road. But right now, Culpepper is, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the game. And again, another one of those slots that I was talking about where I really think it's between 2 players here. If you need a running back, I would go with your Saquon or Reggie Bush. And the only reason I'm saying Reggie Bush over, say, LaDainian Tomlinson is because if you're looking for just a running back, you don't want to put abilities on them, you just want a really good back, I would say it's Saquon Barkley. But if you want a running back to put abilities on, I would say to go with Reginald Bush because he is a receiving back, and that means that Backfield Master, I believe, is only 1 AP for him, which is, in my opinion, the only ability I would ever put on running backs in this game. You don't need Jukebox. You don't need any of that. I know a lot of people like Jukebox, whatever, but you don't need it necessarily. Saquon, though, 92 speed, 93 excel, 93 agility, 92 change of direction, 84 truck, 89 break tackle. I think just looking at pure stats of a running back, he is up there for potentially the best, you can even say. Saquon Barkley, this card is ridiculous. 87 carrying, 90 juke move. He's going to be a really, really good running back for quite a while. We are going to get an upgrade to Barry Sanders in the 50 per one, I'm pretty sure, and we're probably going to have some better running backs out in a couple of weeks. But for now, Saquon's just amazing. And as for the 9th player on this list, if you guys need a free safety, he is 800,000 coins, very expensive. And this may be the player I use my power pass on because he's so expensive. 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 94 play rec, 85 pursuit, 89 man, 94 zone. This Devin McCourty card is a ball hawk. Now, of course, hit power is not there, but it doesn't matter. I don't get fumbles. I have Jamal Adams. I have Taylor Mays. I have all the big hitters. I don't get fumbles in this game. This is the only Madden I don't care about hit power, and the only Madden where I actually care about man coverage on safeties because I use my safeties in man quite a bit, and this Devin McCourty card is disgusting. Absolutely love him. I'm probably going to use my power pass on him because I love Micah Hyde so much, and McCourty's just an upgrade to Micah Hyde. And the final player on my list is for you guys that need a user middle linebacker, really. You can sub in Taylor Mason middle linebacker. I run big nickel, and then I sub him in there. He is probably the best user in the game. 6'3", 90 speed, 90 excel, 92 hit power, 87 zone. Also has 92 tackling, 90 pursuit, and a 91 jumping. He's a great user card. So with that being said, guys, that is my list of best players to use it on. As I said, you could just go ahead, pick the most expensive player you have on your team, use the power pass on them, or just go with the most expensive option currently in the store. But these are the players that I personally feel like are great choices, either for the shorter term or for the much longer term, and you can use them and probably get the most use out of them. So that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you drop a like in the vid, and of course hit that sub button down below. I'll see you guys next time.